Hi, it's me, Ro, author of Speaking from Spirit, and here's your January 2023 energy alert. So, January is an 8 month in a 7 global year, 2023. 2 plus 0 plus 2 plus 3 equals 7. And January will be an 8 power month in this 7 global year. So, what does this mean? It means that this year is a year of soul growth and soul connection and stepping deeper into your destiny and your soul power and having your most authentic self express itself in this world and in every area of your life. So it means that your soul wants to have more presence as opposed to just your personality or your ego identities or what we think we should do. And it wants to manifest that through your work, through your finances, through all of your relationships, and definitely through the body and through your health. So, a 7 year is a year where we soul search, or where we have a spiritual awakening, or where we deepen the power of our soul in this world. And this month is going to be a lot about feeling the power of that and feeling empowered to do that and to step into that part of ourself and leave behind any of the false personality or false pieces of self or miscreated pieces of our lives behind us. Sometimes in a 7 year, we'll have a lot of self-doubt or confusion. Who am I? What am I? Where do I go? What am I here for? What is my purpose? And the reason for that is because our soul is trying to get us out of our thinking and logical mind and more into a higher mind or higher perspective. It wants us to rely on divinity and spirit to co-create or help with our path in this life. And so we often look up or understand that there's more to this life than what appears and reach for a higher power. That's a big 7 energy kind of theme. So this month, you might feel very clear after last month's of what needs to let go. December was, I'm really clear of what I need to let go of. This month, January, you might feel empowered to take actions on that. However, we are in a Mercury in retrograde as of December 29th, and we are also in a Mars retrograde from back in October 31st. And both of those are asking us to sit still and wanting to reveal what we need to see or what has been hidden from our view or what our soul needs us to understand or work on. So while we're going to feel like we want to take action, there's going to be a little push-pull. And the only action we will be able to take will be soul-guided action, meaning that if we go to take action just because we think we should or for busy work, we're going to be stopped. We're going to be soul-sabotaged from doing what we shouldn't be doing or what we don't need to be doing. So again, that Mars is still in retrograde, and that is really teaching us all about anger and how we handle our anger and when anger is, can be used positively for a catalyst for change or to set boundaries, or where it's kind of burning us up inside or being held or misused or misdirected. The Mercury in retrograde is in Capricorn, so it's making us be very practical and thought out, and it's making us really think about how our choices or actions create effect or consequences, cause and effect or consequences. Good and consequences can be good or bad. So this Mercury in retrograde is saying, look at your past choices. Look at how that played out. Does that work for you? Do you still want to make that choice? In other words, every time you eat spicy food, you have a stomach upset for days and days. Those are the choices you've made it in the past. These are the effects of that. No right or wrong and no judgment. You can continue on, but do you want to? Do you want to continue on? How about eating something that is more in alignment with what your stomach can handle or your digestive system can handle? So that's what this Mercury in retrograde is going to do, is give us the information, because that's the Mercury, that we need in a very practical and grounded Capricorn way, that's going to show us how our actions create effect. We have a full moon in Cancer on January 6th. And, Cancer is always the home and the heart and the nurturing and the love. And that's definitely coming off the heels of last year's six energy of love and relationships and self love. So hopefully in this January full moon on the 6th, you are seeing how you nurture and care for yourself. And again, seeing if you need any upgrades to that, or if you could do that in a better way, or if what you're doing is really nurturing to you. We have a new moon in Aquarius on January 23rd, and that is going to have us be thinking bigger and making bigger plans for our lives and hopefully for this world. So some things that you can do this year in this 7 global year, which is going to be like a year where we want to pull into ourselves as opposed to put our energy out. Although we might get a calling, that's a 7 energy. We get called to service by spirit, by divinity, to make changes in our lives or in this world. So, but it's really a year where we're very reflective and in, as opposed to wanting our energy all out. So some of the practices that you can do that are very spiritually aligned or will help you develop your spiritual power and spiritual center is a good meditation practice or prayer practice or both. And prayer doesn't have to be a formal prayer or religious prayer. It could be a mantra or chant as well. Alone time is going to be essential, even for those that are very extroverted or like to be out there. Alone time is going to be very essential. You want to deepen your connection to your spirit guides, your helpers, your angels. And if you don't know who they are or you don't know about that, then the fairies, sorry, don't want to leave my friends out. You want to learn about them. You want to read about what is a spirit guide, what is an ascended master, what are the angels, who are mine? Let me sit and meditate and see if they'll come to me. Deepen your dream state and work with your dream state consciously. That is a big one because a lot of our psychic channels and soul information comes to us in our dream state. Go to counseling or psychotherapy. If you don't need it, I'm going to tell you, we all do. And I think it should be mandatory that everybody does at least a 2-year stint in psychotherapy. It raises our self-awareness. A good yoga practice or Tai Chi or Qigong or even a self-defense class. Things that get us in the body are going to be very essential, as well as moving out any past traumas from our body. So somatic body work. Reading spiritual material. One of my favorites is A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. It was like the very first book that I ever read on the spiritual journey. I think it is an essential guide. There are many others, but I think start with that. And if you haven't read it in a while, or you did read it and haven't read it in a while, go back to that. Develop your psychic senses. Find a good class. Certainly there's a ton online. My favorite place for that is Journey Within in Pumpkin Lakes. And they also have a lot of online classes. Find a good spiritual counselor like me, like somebody like me, that can help you understand and process what's going on with you in a spiritual, from a spiritual perspective, from a much higher perspective than just mental, emotional, psychological, physical perspective. Find a nice spiritual community like mine on the one online. And I would include in this a good 12-step program if that's what you need. Or even if you don't, or even if you've just dealt with people that have addiction, 12-step programs are incredibly spiritually based. Journaling. Hope you all got one for the Christmas or holiday presents. Journal. Dream work, I mentioned. Reading inspirational passages every day. So I have like that Louise Hay calendar. I have one of my books here, What is that name of that book? It's a book that I just open randomly and read a little chapter every day. Kind of like my book that you could just read one chapter and not in order. But this is more like a little spiritual message. I can't remember the book. Anyway, there's tons. Um, Volunteer work. Nothing raises our vibration. Nothing raises our self esteem and makes us feel good about ourselves like doing something for someone else. Body purification. So maybe you go into one of those cleanses or, um, do some shifting around with your diet to see what works and doesn't work. Ritual work, especially around the change of seasons, around the full and new moon. Oh, do I love those rituals? Any kind of ritual work. Following your dreams. Oh boy, will this be a push this year. If you've been ignoring what your soul wants you to do, oh, it's going to be out loud and proud this year, and it's not going to let up. It will be relentless until you pay attention and get on board. Your dreams are not just dreams, they're destinies waiting to be fulfilled. Reading and reading and reading and more reading usually is a 7 year. Learning about something is very much a seventh soul fulfilling thing. Some of us will be called to take a sabbatical. If so, follow, go. Finding and maintaining your inner peace no matter what, that's going to be essential. And finding where you're of service to this world with your talents, gifts, skills, and personality. Your personality is your uniqueness that allows your soul to express itself in this world in its own unique way. So where is that in service to this world? Ask these questions and you will get these answers. So, a couple of things this month. Master astrologer, my friend Jack Hopkins, will be doing astrological insights in the online spiritual community meeting on January 10th. Remember that you need to be a member of the online spiritual community to engage in that. I will also have my annual Super Soul Saturday class on January 21st from 11 to 3. Anybody can join in that. It will be virtual. So you could sign up for that. We go through the whole numerology and your personal numerology. I love this class. It sets the tone for the year. And if you can't attend it, you'll get the recording. And I'm also going to do a virtual Zoom mediumship demonstration through the Cedar Grove Library on January 25th. So that's pretty much open for everybody. It's free. So you could go on my website and see where to sign up for any and all of these things. Remember that I am pretty booked out in advance for private readings, probably like booking for end of April, May. If you got a gift certificate for Christmas, please go on and book it right away so that you have something scheduled, because I rarely get cancellations. So, you'd have to have this out months in advance. So I want to pull a card. I'm going to pull a fairies card. So from the fairies deck, Doreen Virtue fairies card. And what we're asking is, what are your messages for us fairies for 2023, for this 7 global year? What do you want anybody that's watching this to know? What do you have to tell us? Breaking free. Well, that's pretty good. What are we breaking free of, fairies? Do you feel trapped in some life area? This card asks you to take the first step in freeing yourself from an unnatural restriction. Sometimes we feel trapped by outside circumstances. For instance, you believe that financial or family obligations compel us to accept an unsatisfactory job or relationship or obligation, or we're afraid to leave or fix an unhealthy relationship. Perhaps we feel that our family or spouse won't let us pursue life enhancing activities such as college classes or exercise programs. Then again, maybe we feel controlled by our own addictions or our own inner fears that hold us back. The fairies say that when we are responsible for ourselves, we're more responsible for others. That is, when we are happy, our family, friends, children, and spouses enjoy being around us and are inspired by our strength and confidence. Pray for help in releasing your fears and blocks and assisting you in breaking free. God's plan is that you be responsible while simultaneously feeling as free as a bird or the angels or the fairies. So your affirmation is, I am free, I am powerful, I now allow myself to enjoy this freedom and power. So basically, what this is saying is those restrictions are illusions. And when we confront them and we give our soul the power to manifest, attract, and create our life, then we break free of all these limits and illusions. In Kundalini, we talk about it as the Kundalini rising up from the base of the spine all the way up and out the crown of our head, releasing us from all of our illusions or inner blocks that hold us back from being all that we can be and feeling our most happy and fulfilled in this life. That's what the soul wants. It wants to express itself, and in that we are our most happy and fulfilled. So we're being asked to get out of our own way, or we're being told that this year we are going to break free and get out of our own way, one way or the other. That is going to happen. Now, just to further that, when we are content with ourselves, we make for better traveling partners on this earth plane. So we are much more good citizens when we feel satisfied and fulfilled and contented in our own life. So put your soul in charge. Let it lead the way. Let it guide you, me, to our highest potential. Call on Ganesha, the god, the Hindu god of removing obstacles. I always joke that that's what I think that I am for my clients, is that I'm the Ganesha that helps you to see and remove your obstacles that are in your way so that you can get on with it and live your best life and be your best version of yourself to express in this world. So that's kind of it for right now. I am looking forward to working with all of you in one capacity or another, whether it's at the library or through my online community or personally. So it's me, Ro. Happy 2023. Happy New Year. I am wishing you peace.